Alright, so I'm going to do a bit of a voiceover for some of this video. I've got I've got this voiceover and one other that I'm going to record after this as like a closing thing. I'll try and make it somewhat quick. I'm just going to like sort of outline what the tutorial did, what you do in the tutorial, and sort of like just gonna speed it up a little bit, because I don't think you guys want to watch 45 minutes of a game that we've seen for the past 25 years, you know. Oh, not 25 years, sorry, 15 years. I don't think we want to see another intro, another part one, if you will, of a game that we've been seeing for the past 15 years. The game very much plays very similarly at the start to, I guess, its predecessor, which is just Digimon Masters Online. They did change a few things, however. So there's the way they do loot is a little bit different now as well, as like for one thing. So they give you a lot more shit. Now, from what I understand, Digimon Masters Online has also been giving out like triple S tier shit and whatever in like an attempt to save the game and get people to come back and play the game. So Digimon Masters World, they're sort of doing this. They're giving you like just giving you a lot of not end game. I don't want to say end game. They're giving you a lot of high tier shit at the very start of the game, and this is an attempt to essentially give you a lot of the good shit at the start so you continue to play the game, which worked for me. I played like 3 hours, 4 hours of the game. You know, and I kept coming back. I played a level before this one as well, like, and I got like a lot of good shit. Like, I didn't get the same stuff I got in the last one this time because I think one of the events ended, but anyway, it's neither here nor there. So you go through the normal sort of character creation, blah, 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 blah. Like, I mean, it's fairly self-explanatory. You go through... it's weird because it's a sort of a mix match. Goddamn, can't English. It's a mix match of old and new Digimon Masters. So they added a lot of the old stuff to the start of the game, like the... what do you call it? What are those first maps called? The like City of Beginnings. No, that's not the one. Oh, Woodbench Park. That's it. Yeah, so Woodbench Park. I don't know if that's in the latest version of Digimon Masters Online, but I know for a fact, I feel like they got rid of these maps in the newer versions. I don't know. I think you can still go there because they do. I think these maps are what lead to the town that then takes you to the oil refinery, if I'm correct. But it's an area that I haven't really thought about for a while, because in the newer version of the game, you didn't have to do the oil refinery shit. You didn't have to do all of the Tamers story. You know, you literally could skip through, not do that at all, and just go straight into Fire Island and get straight into that stuff. So in this, it sort of takes you through like a mix match. I'm not saying that you have to do the oil refinery, but it's like there's a map in the area that you go to after the Woodbench Park, and you'll see it in the video that I'll probably skip to at some point. But it's like it's got 4 different little areas on the map, and each area to me feels like it's supposed to be a mini version of a bunch of different maps that you play through the beginning of the original DMO. Now, I don't think that's completely true, but there's one area in the map where it looks like it's an oil refinery, but it's just a very, very small version of it. So I thought that, you know, maybe it was just a way of it sort of fast tracking that part of the game, because so far in the game, where I'm up to in my other save, I haven't found a way to play the original story. So I don't think you can play it, but I could be wrong. Maybe it is in it, it's just later on. And maybe it's got to be a little bit different, because they're obviously not going to add the same introductional story missions that people have been playing for the past 10, well, I think it was like 8 years when they finally updated it. But yeah, like it was a very different experience from what I remember, because I think in the next In the 2019 remake, where they redid the introduction and tutorial missions, you went to they changed it essentially, and it was just fast tracked. It fast tracked you to, I believe it was level 30 or 40. That whole area fast tracked you to level 30 or 40, so that you could then go straight from there to File Island. This game sort of does the exact same thing in the sense that this first area is a fast track version of the fast track, and it's a lot faster. Everything has got like 2 HP. It's ridiculous. It's like you don't have to use skills. Like you literally just tap it, and it's like 2 hits away from dying, but you get a bunch of XP. So it's just a really quick, fast-paced way of getting you to level 30. It's probably a very good way as well if you've got starter level Digimon to just level that Digimon up as well, because they give out a lot of XP when you get to a certain point. But yeah, overall though, I don't know, like there's nothing too interesting, nothing really stood out to me with the story of this area. I don't think it was supposed to either. I think we just got to keep in mind that this Digimon Masters world game that they've recreated for us is meant to be sort of like a fast-paced, like fast-tracked version of the original. Like it's not really supposed to be story heavy. I think I will move on from that though. One of my pet peeves, I think, with the game is the reskinned megas. So they released the Ruin mode versions of Digimon. And at first I was like, Ruin mode? Alright, what does that mean? Right? Because I just thought it was going to be another burst mode. And I feel like I've heard of Ruin mode before. I feel like Ruin mode's a real thing. But I think but I'm not too sure where it's from or what Digimon. I'm pretty sure it's specific to a Digimon is Ruin mode. Right? But all 4 starters got a Ruin mode. But all it is it's just a reskin. It's just black where the other color it used to be. It's just black. It's very, I don't want to say unoriginal, because like they're still keeping the game up for everyone, right? But yeah, it just felt lazy, if I'm being honest. But I mean, I'm not trying to, like, I'm not saying I could do better. I'm just saying, why bother even doing that? I think they just did it. I think they did it as a way to give you the same Digimon, but with even higher stats. So it's just an extra evolution that then you can use. I think it's just a way for them to turn your starter Digimon into a triple S tier Digimon by the end game. Or maybe not triple S, but you know what I mean? Like, because your original burst mode starter, I'm pretty sure is only like an S rank. So I think they've added this new mode as a way for you to get double S. Because double S is pretty much, you need double S for end game stuff. You need like double S or triple S, like at least like minimum for end game dungeons and shit. At least from what I remember. Could be different. I don't know now. From what I remember though, you need at least double S or triple S units to do end game quests. So I think that Ruin mode is just a way. I didn't actually see what rank Ruin mode was because I can't unlock it. I'm not a high enough level. But I assume that it's got to be like a double S. So it's just a way for them to buff the stats further for your starter. That way, if you wanted to, you could just run through the whole game with your starter. The equipment that they give you is crazy good. Like it's like hundreds of buffs, essentially. So you end up having like, before you're even level 20, you have like Digimon with like 5,000 HP or whatever, right? It's a lot. There's a lot of HP. Which is good for early game, fantastic for late game, and it just goes on again what I was saying before. They give you a lot of high tier shit to get you through pretty much to end game shit. Like it's pretty much like the goal is for you to get to end game as fast as possible. Like they've streamlined the grind, which to me also takes away from the achievement that you get and the satisfaction you get. But obviously this is fan made. This is not supposed to be Digimon Masters Online. This is supposed to be its own experience. So, do with that what you will. Cash shop. There is a cash shop. I don't like it, but I do like it. I'm mixed, right? I'm mixed because it is cheaper. Still sort of expensive. I think, like just looking at it, It's not as expensive as the original DMO. Like, it's not as expensive as it used to be. It's definitely more discounted now. But it's all donation money. So it's essentially, it's done through the Discord, and I don't know. I didn't use the system, and I wouldn't recommend anyone using the donation system unless you're comfortable doing it. Because it's done through the Discord. So it's essentially you donate and you get a code for your donation. You then send the donation through to a bot in Discord, and then that bot then sends you the coins, or something along those lines. Sends you those coins through your cash warehouse thing system. So at least that's what I've gleaned from it. Like I said, I haven't actually used the system, so I don't know how the delivery option works, but I'm assuming that's how it works. I think that if you are just looking for nostalgia, don't touch the cash shop. If you want to support them, go for it. You know, get like 1 or 2 things. Like, because at the end of the day, the money that they get through the donations probably is used for keeping the servers up, paying people to monitor servers, paying people to monitor the Discord, blah, 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 blah. So it's all being used for the server. So if you like the game and you want to see it, you want it to survive and thrive, and you like what they're doing with it, then by all means, go for it. But like I said, I haven't done it personally. I would be very cautious with this sort of thing. I'm sure that it's fine. I don't think the servers would still be up in the game. I don't think the game would still be up, and the Discord would be as healthy as it is if they were scamming people. So just, you know, take it with a grain of salt. But I'm just always very funny with that sort of thing. But anyway, what else? Oh yeah, so after you finish the tutorial, you use your level up boxes. By the way, XP, always on a 4,000 burner, as you can probably see down in the thing. It's like pretty much always in like at least 1,000%. So XP is phenomenally crazy, right? Once again, fast. It's just fast. It's fast tracked. It's fast tracking you to get to a high level. It's great though. It's good. It makes it a lot faster. Once again, takes away from the achievement that you get. I feel it takes away from the satisfaction that you feel when you get to a certain point. So I think if you're looking for a game that you're going to feel rewarded based off of, like, it's challenging and you're going to feel rewarded. I don't know. I don't know. From where I am in the game after about 4 hours, which isn't a lot. From where I am in the game though, I just haven't really had any satisfaction. There's nothing that, after playing 4 hours, there's nothing that's really like, I want to go back and play. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing that's like, I want to go back and play. Don't get me wrong, it could just be because I'm not really like on my Digimon grind at the moment. You know, and I might not be for another year or two, but I mean, wait until the next Digimon story game comes out. Bro, I'm gonna be all over that shit. You know what I mean? But for this game specifically, there's nothing that's drawing me back to it. Which, once again, I think is absolutely fine. I think the game was great, and I'll have fun memories of it, but there are other ways to get your Digimon fix now as well. You know, Digimon story games, Digimon Survive. I'm sure they've got more Digimon games that are coming. Like, they've been very open about Digimon story games, like another Digimon story series game. We don't have any proof or whatever, but they have stated that they want to make more. So, you know, I would love to see another Digimon story game that's like Cyber Sleuth, because that game really hit Persona vibes for me, and I love Persona, bro. Love Persona series. I'm in the middle of playing Persona 3 at the moment, and I'm really enjoying it. I haven't played it for like a week, unfortunately. I had to take a bit of a break. Have, you know, life commitments that I have to attend to, obviously. Like, I can't just like play video games every day, all day. But I'll jump back into that soon. And next I want to play Metaphor, because I hear that is a great game as well. Like, that is really good. If you like Persona games, play Metaphor. But it is... Oh, yeah, Digimon. I'd love to see a Digimon game like that. I'd love to see a Digimon game that plays like Persona more. You know, like, I feel like story Cyber Sleuth games had a very Persona attribute to them. And I think I think if you played the Cyberswift games, I think you understand what I'm saying and what I mean by Persona vibes. Like, not just the turn-based combat, but the music, the soundtrack was pretty good. I thought the soundtrack in the Cyberswift games specifically, the one that I remember the most was Hacker's Memory. Hacker's Memory's like soundtrack bopped. Like there was nothing like, there was no bangers in there that like I listened to in my spare time like you would with like the Persona 5 OST, but you could tell the OST for those games wanted to hit. You know, like they were so close to hitting, they just didn't quite hit it quite on the head. I think that they could do so well if Digimon teamed up with like, who are the guys that do Persona? Arc System? No. Like if they teamed up with the like Bandai for a Digimon game, and like grab Spike in there, drizzle a bit of Spike on there, bro. Like, bro, like it'd be great. Anyway, we're not here to talk about games that don't exist. We're here to talk about Digimon Masters as well. All right, well that will lead me into the final part of this video. Digimon Masters was an MMO that launched back in like 2010, 2011 roughly. You know, and it was essentially just a way for Digimon fans to, I guess, immerse themselves in that world, right? And back then, MMOs were, like, they're still very popular, but a Digimon MMO was a big fucking deal. You know, like, it was the first time we got, like, sort of like a free roam, open world experience in that world, in that universe, you know what I mean? So, well, I mean, sort of, except for Digimon Online Battle, but if you guys play Digimon Online Battle and you guys play Digimon Masters Online, like, you'll understand sort of like what I mean when I say like they're not the same game. They're very different, and it's a completely different experience. As someone that played both of them, it's a completely different experience. But anyway, I digress. At its peak, Digimon was very popular. Over, I think it was over like 100. I think you get like over 100. I'm actually not sure about how many Digimon are in the game. They slowly added them over time, right? Doesn't really matter. It's not really important. But unfortunately, it sort of started dying very soon, very quickly. And the death of the game, unfortunately, was the reliance on microtransactions. Specifically the gacha boxes. Before the gacha boxes came out, the game was fantastic. Like, the rates of like hatching and all that stuff was still a little bit, you know, you'd still spend a little bit of money on data, hatch backups, because you needed hatch backups. So essentially you buy hatch backups and you buy data. You have to buy both of them. You couldn't just buy the data, because if you bought the data but not the backup and the egg died, game over, essentially. Like, you have to buy a new egg and everything. So pretty much, if you bought data, you have to buy hatch backups. So it was like easier for you to grind the data, FTP, and then just buy the hatch backups. And even that at the time was, you know, there was still a lot of money. You know, you didn't have to get every single Digimon, so it was like you pretty much got your favorites and that was it. So eventually they ended up adding this, well, the first instance that I can think of is, I believe it was Alta S Omegamon B? Alta B or Alta A? It was Alta B or Alta A. But they came in, this is the first one that I can think of, and it was essentially just a loot box. You know, it wasn't cheap either. The loot box wasn't cheap. And it was like something silly, like to get the main item in that box, the Alta S or whatever, Alta B or whatever, it was like a 0.01 or 0.001% chance of getting it or something. It was something ridiculously low. Like, it was almost like not legal. Like, it felt like that should not be allowed. Like, that should not be legal. Like, there should be at least like a 3% chance, 4% chance of getting this. I don't know if they ended up changing it later on. You know, obviously, if I'm wrong about that, fact check me. Chuck in the comments below. But it was a ridiculously low percentage. But I mean, as time went on, like as time goes on, right? I think, and this is why I say it's okay. right? Because Digimon Masters was a fantastic game, and it was a good, fantastic experience for at the start. You know, there's a lot of diehard fans that will continue to play the game, and there's a lot of new fans that might pick the game up through this game, Digimon World, Digimon Masters World, or the ones that are using VPNs can still play Digimon Masters Online. And you know, that's definitely, like, I mean, if you enjoy the game, keep playing it. I mean, it's a fun game, but I think it's okay that it is dying, and it mostly is dead, because it opens up paths for new games in the future, right? So they got Digimon Masters Evolution, which is essentially the same thing, but it also offers the opportunity for them to fix the mistakes that they made with the original, specifically loot boxes. Now that loot box gacha system are sort of like I don't know. I'm not seeing them as often. There's definitely games specifically for gacha systems, but I feel like, for example, Overwatch, I'm pretty sure got rid of the loot box system. You know, like a lot of games are getting rid of loot box systems. So I'd love to see them honestly remove the loot box system from the next game. If they did that, I think they'd get a very good reaction from the players, right? There's of course a lot of people that won't convert from the old game to the new game unless the servers get shut down completely, and that just attributes to the fact that they spent a lot of money on their character, and that's completely valid. I think it would just make sense for them to completely make a brand new server, or at the very least keep the servers that they've got in the game and then just make a new server for the game as well. So make a new Evolution server. All they really need to do is they could keep those servers, transfer them, and then just make a new server for new players, essentially. And for older players as well. Like, there's plenty of people that are still going to probably jump in and just do a fresh experience, because they'll probably change the story. I think that that's probably the best course of action for this series, for this game, Digimon Masters specifically. But having said that as well, I think that it's okay that if you don't play Digimon Masters Evolution when it finally drops, if it's actually a real game that's coming out, because we've also got, what was it, Digimon Rumble or whatever it is. So that's another sort of I think it's an MMO as well, but it just looks essentially like Digimon World redigitized, but I think it's redigitized. I don't know. Anyway, the PS4 game that's like open world, that's Digimon World-esque. But yeah, so I honestly, I do believe that it's fine, that it's not gonna survive, essentially. And I think it's okay. I don't see an issue with it. I think everything moves forward for a reason. I think if we keep going back to that game, it's going to tell them that they don't need to change anything, right? And they do. I think that a majority of the Digimon Masters community, I don't want to speak for all of you, but I'd like to think that you all would like it to do better. You'd like the developers to do better. And if we keep going back to the same game, it's going to create this illusion that the players don't want anything changed, and the players love the game the way it is. Which I'm sure is true for some, but I know that the vast majority of people that don't play it anymore left it for a lot of reasons that they added later on into its life cycle. So I think it's important that we just keep that in mind as well for Evolution if they do change stuff. Because obviously we don't want to support them doing things with the game or repeating bad decisions. But there's some people that are just gonna buy Digimon just because Digimon, right? There's nothing you can really do about that. Anyway, closing out the video, that is it. That is done. I apologize if I've offended anyone or upset anyone. I know that sometimes that, these things aren't easy to hear, especially from someone that you don't know. If you are a diehard fan of Digimon Masters and you spent thousands of dollars on the game and are still spending money on the game, please stop spending money on the game. And I don't say that in a hateful way. I'm saying that in a, it's time to move on. I don't know, it's time to move on. if we keep supporting them, like I said, they're just going to keep doing the same old shit. And I don't know about you, but a 0.01, 0.1, or 0.01% chance of getting an item out of a gift box for one evolution for one Digimon doesn't exactly scream to me that it's a good game. I'm going to be honest. That's why I stopped playing Overwatch for a while with the loot box system, even though it wasn't even pay to win. But this game is pay to win. And unless you've got a fat wallet, you know, you're not going to be able to get all that shit. I mean, obviously pay to win is a bad argument because it's not PvP. So technically it's PvE, pay to win. And it's only pay to win the end game content because a lot of those top tier Digimon are like essential for some of the end game shit. I just think that it's time to move on and give them the opportunity to make something new, something better. If you guys want to keep playing it, keep playing it. You do you, boo. But I think for me personally, this will be the last time I play the game. And I'll be waiting for either Evolution or Rumble Arena. And honestly, even Evolution, I probably will play for a little bit. If there's nothing improved about the game, then I'm just going to wait for Rumble Arena. And if Rumble Arena is trash, then I think for me, Digimon MMOs are just going to be a thing of the past, and I'm just going to stick to playing the story games. Because it's just not... Yeah. I'll always have a special place in my heart for this game, and you know, hey, I will probably come back and play it at some point, because, you know, Digimon Masters in 2030 sounds like a pretty good fucking title. 20 years later. 20th anniversary, you know what I mean? But, yeah, I think for now, this is it. But it's a fantastic, it's a fun game. If you know, remove the pay to win aspects of it. But, yeah. But that is it for this video. I will be back in the next one. I will be back this time. I will not be taking a 2-year hiatus. I will be back. Hopefully I can actually improve on my editing skills and just my overall creativity with some of my videos. I know that they're a bit stale, but I don't know. I'm lazy. You know, I do this because it's fun. Like, I'll always look at trying to improve the way I can edit, but at the moment I'm doing it because it's fun. You know, so we'll learn as we go. But yeah, that is it for now. Thank you guys. If you guys actually made it to the end of this video, please drop a like. If you guys are returning to the channel after the 2-year hiatus, put bin out here in the comments. But yeah, it feels good to be back. It feels nice to be back in front of the computer in this way, and I'm excited to see what the future holds for this channel, if it survives this video. Fuck, it's got a hiccup. That was crazy. All right, I'm going. Bye.